This is day 2 of boot camp series on FUSA Pup64. Day 1 I covered URXVT terminal, and we'll continue on with the day 2 where I will start a Rox-Filer customization. So Rox-Filer is more than just a file manager. Actually, it also manages the icons. So first thing probably is just Control H will toggle hide and the hidden files. We'll go over some of the overall organization of how Rox-Filer is organized, and under options right click on empty space and the options you can see a main configuration of Rox-Filer. First open up the options. You'll have a filer windows, and generally speaking largest window size 59% has to do with the percentage of what the largest filer window will be, and I find around 80% seems best for me. So one Rox-Filer potentially can open up to about 80% of the desk real estate. New window, it's a good idea to have inherent options from source window. So you open up another window, it's going to look pretty much the same, and that's what I prefer. So for example, we'll go ahead and open up another window here. So new window, so it's gonna look pretty much the same, and I think that's that is better for me. And see hidden files, I think because of Control H will essentially serve the same. So Control H keyboard will toggle hidden files. You can leave it either, but let's just go ahead and click on it, and then icon view, small icon is fine. Everything else seems I just leave it. List view, you probably, because of Puppylinux has the same owner and a group, both roots. I think it's really rather redundant. So and then tools, I think I prefer that Rox does not have these toolbars, and some people find it very helpful, but I think I don't need them, so I prefer not to have them. So I think the one potential tool bar that I miss occasionally is a list view, but I think for me, I just go to I just open up actually with a keyboard console, and then LSLA will give you a list in a list view in a URXVT. So therefore I prefer that this will be no toolbar, so you'll see that this all disappeared. So rest of it can remain the same. Generally I click on a show image thumbnails, which is already a default setting. Pinboard has to do with these icons that's managed by Rox-Filer, and I think the only thing I usually do is course to help align the icons a little bit better. And icon is I just skip that. And desktop, Rox-Filer also can have a panel on the top or on the side. It's similar to this here, but usually the JWM does much better job on panels. On the action tab here, I tend to go ahead and activate everything except for newer and it has to do with the default behavior of, for example, copying one directory to another location. It automatically will copy all files in a subfolder example and so on. So these can be individually modified at the time when you drag a file or directory. Drag and drop pretty much stays pretty much the same. Download xterm. urxvt is a default terminal. xterm, I'm not sure whether xterm is actually installed. Where is xterm? Oh, it is installed. So xterm, okay, so you can go ahead and leave the xterm as a download handler menus, and we'll go ahead and put this urxvt here. So urxvt with a key tab key right below the escape key, it will start the terminal. So let me just go ahead and show you. I'll just put the grave key is called. You notice that it starts. So okay, so we've activated urxvt there. Rest of it is icon theme. These refers to these icons, colors, compatibility. Everything can remain the same. So this is just a brief overview of options tab on besides the Control H to toggle hidden files. Other important keyboard that I use often is, for example, if you're in my applications, I need to go back to the home folder root directory, then Control H takes you to home. So, and then also when you have just a backspace, it goes up the notch as far as a folder structure. Now Rox-Filer can mimic a dual pane of file manager. So let me just show you. So normally if you just click on the file here, you're not exactly sure where it's going to open up, but so it opened up with a hidden files open because of we made that option. So let's say we prefer to have it open way up here in the right corner, and that's what I prefer, to have the root file listed here. So what you can do is, once you move it there, you go ahead and right click and go into display and save current display settings, and you get a menu like this, and then you say OK, and then you can key combination of Control and 1. Okay, so nothing will happen, but when you well, let me just go on demonstrating. So let's say you want the download folder to open, but you prefer to have it over here. So we're going to go ahead and display again, save current display settings, and OK, and then we give it a Control 2. Okay, now we want to have a control the home folder open over here, and we gave it a key combo of Control 1. And now we can simply just click on 1 and it should open where it was before. And then we're gonna click on we click on Control 2 for the download folder, and I'll just click on 2. So you see nice download folder is open here. So we can just verify. So that's the download folder. So what I've done is once we got over here, we clicked on it, activated, and a grave key, and then I press on working directory, and you see it's downloads folder. So we're gonna put it back in one now. Now let's say we frequently I frequently like to open up my storage partition, which is here, and I prefer to have it open about here. So similarly, after you open it up, you go ahead and right click, display, save current settings, and then OK. Now what we're going to do, we're going to enter control 3. Well, let me just control 3. I usually prefer photos, so let me just control 4. So now if I enter 2, it's going to go to download. If I enter 4, it's going to go to the storage partition, which is here. So you can place and open Rox-Filer folders with a simple memorization of key, control, and a number, and then when you want to activate the position of the folder, you just simply tap on the number key. So given what we covered so far, I'll show you on a terminal. You can go ahead and type in this, and then what it states is using Rox, the home folder, which is root, and also downloads, and then this partition of SDA4, MNT, SDA4, and we're going to see if we can simply open up 3 triple pane Rox-Filer here. So you can see that it opened up the root, downloads folder, and the partition, storage partition. So that I have many folders here. We'll just space back. So that's where we started from. So now you can see some of the utilities. So if you know how to set up a simple script in bash RC, that you can get an idea of how Rox-Filer work, and you can simplify things to have it behave as a triple pane, in this case a file manager. I just have one Rox-Filer open here under storage, my storage partition, and you'll notice that sometimes if you work on one file manage one pane here, let's say we open it up, let's say wallpaper, and then I want to see a bigger thumbnail. I tap on the plus sign, and then another plus sign. You see that this has gotten bigger, and go back to minus, then it gets smaller. Now at this point, if I click on just one, you expected the file to be opened here, and let's see what happens. It actually opens a little bit differently. So what you can do is, generally speaking, if you go back to 2 again, and then reset the 2, and then go back to 1, now it goes back to the original position that it's been programmed in. So so those are some of the tricks. So if you work on a and then you click on 1, and you expect it to be up here, it may not. In this case it did, but So a lot of times if you have it completely different place, I noticed that that tends to occur. But it's not a very good demonstration. That was 4, and it goes to 1. So I think that once you get used to the hang of this, you may find it this very helpful.